That's all wrong. Get it back. Boom. The shower is turned off.
Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Turn it off. Tell me this ain't the best meal you ever had in your life. Bologna dog.
You boom. That's good.
Let's see how this go.
Money doesn't matter. Nope. Money does not matter. Let me tell y'all something, man. The people who are constantly saying that money doesn't matter, money is not going to save you, it doesn't matter, blase, blase, blah, new world order, money it's not important, blase, blase, blah. Those are going to be the people who are living like broski that I just showed you. Those are going to be the people poking holes in the bag, taking a shower, right? Those are going to be the people, complaining that, the government is not doing enough. Those are going to be the people, with their hands out, asking for UBI, universal basic income. Those are going to be those people, right? More than ever in 2026, going into the future, money matters. Are you crazy? Right? I'm tired of seeing comments. I'm tired of seeing, brokeopotamuses talking about money doesn't matter. Are you crazy? Are you okay? Especially if you're coming from America. You live in America, the most capitalistic country in the world, and you're telling me that money does not matter. First and foremost, let me break it down to what money can afford you, right? Money can afford you to stay in a great neighborhood. Money can afford you to put your children through proper education. Money can afford you to be able to uphold your health, meaning that you can afford health insurance. You can go to proper doctors. And you can afford the proper diet, right? Let me tell you something else that money is able to afford you. It is able to afford you a peace of mind, right? It is able to take the stress and the load off of your shoulders. Did you know the poorer you are, the lower your lifespan is? Did you know that? Literally, the amount of money that you have is correlated with the amount of years that you live on this earth, right? Including your children, right? See, some of y'all are professional copers, right? That's what you are. You're professional copers. I'm starting to believe that a lot of y'all, you would choose poverty, right? You would choose poverty over putting in the effort, right? Putting in the effort to actually change your life. Many people, especially a lot of Americans now, they would rather live in poverty. They would rather stay in the same old city that they've been staying in. They rather hang with the same old friends that they've been hanging around. Hell, some of y'all would rather continue to work that warehouse job. Let me tell y'all something about those warehouse jobs, man. Let me tell you something about those warehouse jobs, those extra, laborious jobs. Those jobs are not going to be here in the next few years. I'm going to tell you that right now. Automation is already coming for a lot of that. For those of you, right, who are not thinking outside the box, for those of you who think the traditional systems are going to still be here, you are out of luck. Right? For those of you who don't want to put in any effort to learning, those of you who don't want to put in any effort to seeking out leadership, for those of you who don't want to seek out any actual guidance, you will be living like broski, right? And I hate to put it in a comedic way, but I have to put it in a comedic way for you to understand and to get it. And also you need to understand the seriousness of this, right? You already have people staying in their cars, right? They already paying rent prices for their cars. You have people already paying $1,000, $1,200, to live in their cars, essentially, right? Probably not even including insurance. Hell, even if they probably don't even have insurance. You're going to have a lot of people who are going to be improvising to the extreme, right? It's already happening today. You're going to have a lot of people who are improvising to the extreme, right? Y'all think this is a game. Wait until these data centers are in full effect. Wait until these data centers are in full effect. You will be rationing water. Yes, I said it. You heard it here. Because in many of these municipalities, they're not stopping these data centers. They're not saying no data centers. They're not saying that at all. Right? They're overriding the citizens' interest, bringing those data centers right on in.
Welcome to the afterpill.co, your one-stop shop hub for everything that I offer. Whether you're here to book a one-on-one coaching call, join the Patreon community, explore Horizon Atlas, your relocation app, or access my latest content and resources, you'll find it all right here. Choose your path, take action, and start building the life you want.
They could care less, right? Because of what? Moolah, dinero, money. How many times have I said, if you want to change the world, you better find a way to get rich. If you want to feed the homeless, you better figure out some way to get some money because you got to buy the food, right? Well, I can just plant it on my land. Whose land is it? Right? How much you going to pay for that land? See, it always lead back to money. See, a lot of y'all want to stay in this utopia where you're just going to trade a can of goods for a pot of beans and rice. You're just going to, use your bronze and flip it into, I don't know, some spaghetti, collard greens. No, that ain't the world we about to live in. Right? You know this and I know this. That is not the world that we about to live in, and it will never happen. Right? What they call it, a bartering system. Listen, that bartering system is you got some dinero, you got some pesos, you got some money, and then you buy. That is the bartering system that we stay in. We're not staying in the whole communion, aka communism system. We're not going into that. Right? I don't care if the country leans left, right. It doesn't matter. We're not going that route. But a lot of you will go the route of broski, right? Or should I call them broke ski? That's the route that a lot of y'all are going to go if you don't decide right here and there that you're going to change, right? That is the route that a lot of you are going to go if you don't choose to see the system for what it is, see the system for what it's becoming, see the old system for the destruction that is coming. Right? If you don't open your eyes and see exactly the writing on the wall, that is going to be your life. The life of Broski, right? A lot of people are going to hang on to the old system, the old traditional system to their demise, right? To their demise. They're going to still try to make it work. They're going to still appeal to the politicians. Help us. Help me. Help me. They're going to appeal to the politicians. They ain't going to give a damn, right? Because now more than ever, right? Now more than ever, the corruption is on full display, right? And what does it come down to? Money. You see how I keep linking this to money, right? You see, it's all linked to money. Money is literally, dinero is literally, pesos is literally, right? It's your survival that is on the line, right? Oh, it's not about money. You just need to get on your knees and pray, man. You know how many times I've heard these old Christians, these old battered religious folks, right? They think that prayer is gonna do the end all be all, right? When God literally just like this, I ain't moving until you move. Right? Ninjas just get on their knees and pray and don't think they're supposed to do anything. You got these folks that have been praying for years and years. Ain't nothing has changed because they've never put in any work. Right? Or they like to use the classic, well, money is the root of all evil. Yes, root. Right? Not is. Root. It is the root. Meaning that it can corrupt, not the overall it is corrupting. No, it has the ability to corrupt, but that's not how people view money. Many people have a negative view on money and resources, right? And I used to be one of those ones. Now, don't get me wrong. Now, you got some very evil people out there now. You got some very evil and, PDF file people out there with some money. However, those same people exist at the bottom. Right? It's funny how they say, well, the elites are doing this and the money, and I've made those arguments as well, that they're doing this and they have PDF rings and all of this stuff. Well, at the bottom they do too. You can find that at the bottom too. You can find the same PDFs, right? People who don't even get caught. People who don't even get caught, yep, at the bottom, no money, broke as a joke. Right, they're walking around your communities right now. Nobody's saying nothing. They're your uncles, probably, right? Some of your aunties, tias, tios, right? Some of your old nasty grandpas. Yeah, they in the community. Yep, yeah. He was sleeping with little Sharonda when 14. Yeah, right. He been hitting at her, trying to get at her since she was 12 years old. Yeah. They're all through the community. Murderers, thieves, robbers. So it makes you wonder, is it the money or is it the character? Is it the traits of the person? Is it the person? Is it how they were raised? Is it their perspective? Has this always been them? You will find a lot of times, for some people, this has always been them. Right? Some people, they do develop into monsters, right? With more access. Yeah. Some people do develop into those kind of people. Yeah. But it's from the top down. Degeneracy is from the bottom up, top down. It does not matter. What matters is you. Right? What are the decisions that you will make with money? Regardless of the fact of the matter is you need it. You need it. You need the money to survive. You need land to live off of if you want to go that route. You want to grow things. You need to buy seeds. Seeds just don't drop down for free. You need to be able to make sure the land is fertile. You need to be able to grow the whatever you're planting. You need to be able to water that. You need to be able to take care of the land in general. That costs money. If you want to save the world, it costs money. If you want to be the good guy, it costs money. If you want to be the bad guy, it costs money. A lot of people are going to be, left. A lot of people are going to be left behind. A lot of people are not going to know what hit them because they're still walking around here. I don't need money. Yes, you do. Because if $1 million was dropped in your lap right now, what would you do? If $1 million was a drop in your, not even $1 million, not even $1 million. If you plan your little scratch offs, you got $100,000, right? Nizow. If you were to get 100 thou wow, right? Nizow, what would you do with it? See, the reason why a lot of people continue to say, oh, money isn't everything, money isn't this, money isn't that, is because, mentally they've already told themselves that they would never accomplish anything. Mentally, they've already told themselves that there will never be anything. Mentally, they've already told themselves, this type of lifestyle or making this kind of money is out of reach. They've already given up in their mind. If you're hanging around people like this, I don't care if it's family members, friends, whatever, co-workers, remove yourself from them. They're corrupting your mind, right? They're putting, these things into your unconscious and conscious mind so you can be just like them. What did I tell you? The majority of people want you to fail. Right? It's really not the rich and the elite that really want you to fail. They can really give a damn if you win or not. They just want to make sure they continue to win. So it's going to be some casualties in the mix of it. However, it is the ones at the bottom that want you to lose. It is the ones at the bottom who come up with these sayings and phrases. That is to continue to keep the other crabs in the bucket. Right? When you talk about the Matrix, right? When you talk about the Matrix, What was the Matrix doing? Right? It was just the men that were chasing Neo. Those were viruses, right? Y'all understand that? Those are viruses, and all they would do is corrupt other people. They would turn other people into viruses to continue to carry out their deeds against other people, right? So they continue to corrupt other people to change people up here, right? And turn them into one of them. The majority of people at the bottom, that's all that they're doing. They're trying to corrupt you, trying to get you to view life how they view it, right? Trying to change your perspective on money. You know how many people that I've come across, and this is why I don't like, talking to NPCs. I don't like talking to normal everyday people, because when you tell them about big ideas, when you tell them, oh, I want to get here, I want to get there, they always find some way to try to discourage you. Even when it comes to just something as simply traveling, right? Traveling the world, going to different countries. They'll tell you like, oh, isn't it dangerous out there? You don't want to go out there. It's dangerous. Have you ever been? No, but I've heard this. They're just planting seeds, right? They plant seeds of doubt, right? And they hoping that it grows into something bigger so they can continue to feed you that doubt. So they can continue to feed you that negativity. Oh, money is not important. That's just a seed. It's a seed that they want to plant into your head so you can think just like them, so you can be one of them, because they don't want you to have the audacity. They don't want you to have the confidence to rise above them. They don't want you to rise above the bottom percentage of people, right? They don't want you to be one of the big dogs. They want you to stay a little pup for forever. And that's just facts on facts. And that's an after pill. Listen, the after pill is the ideology. The escape blueprint is the framework, and PFP life is how you should live, in purpose, in freedom, and in power. Check out the link down in the description. Check out theafterpill.co, theafterpill.co. It has everything that you need on the website. If you're thinking about coaching calls, if you're thinking about joining the Patreon, joining the community, or if you want to check out horizonatlas.ai, your relocation app, everything is consolidated on that one website. So please do check it out, and I'll see you guys over there, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.
Welcome to the afterpill.co, your one-stop shop hub for everything that I offer. Whether you're here to book a one-on-one coaching call, join the Patreon community, explore Horizon Atlas, your relocation app, or access my latest content and resources, you'll find it all right here. Choose your path, take action, and start building the life you want.